Anything you can remember about those early days?
What did you say?
Anything you can remember about those early days?
That's been so long ago. You don't know how long.
You know, we used to have it upstairs in the old building here in town. That's where it started, you know, and so it just made you feel excited about building a church other than having to climb up there to the building and just, you know, just to have a temporary thing and just, you know, having like being able to receive our Lord.
Seemed like church to me.
Okay.
We got together and decided that we would try to start a church. So we went to the bishop and wanted one at Udall, and he said no. And then Mulvane, he said yes if we could get 30 families. So we got 31, and that's when we started our parish. And we had 4 older men in our parish that formed a committee, and we started our church in 1947.
We went to the meetings, you know, that they first had, and then, you know, when we had to decide whether we were even going to have a church or not.
Because we wanted a church closer to all of us. We were driving to Derby, a lot of the families, and it was 11 miles. And a lot of the families were driving to Oxford, and it was 20 to 25 miles for them. And so we decided that we wanted a church.
Mostly, you know, because of our faith, and we had to drive to Derby to church or to Wichita, and so we wanted a church of our own. So everybody that helped, you know, was anxious to get it, and so.
And see, Derby was just a very small parish at that time. We had the little church where the Pizza Hut is, and it was just a little white church and held about maybe 100 people with a wood stove in the middle.
Oh, wow. Huh.
And we didn't have a resident priest. They would send him out of Wichita. But Oxford had a mission from Winfield.
Yeah.
And we prayed a lot, you know, so that we could get our church in, and I think that the enthusiasm that people showed in helping, that everybody that was here worked for it.
We had a real hard-working lady in our parish at that time, Mrs. Klassen Sr. And she just worked, and she was really the one that went to the bishop.
Oh, did you go by yourself?
She did.
Did she?
She wanted it at Udall, though, and the bishop said no.
Because there was already a parish at Oxford?
Well, Udall wasn't a big enough town, he said.
We had a lot of farm people in Mulvane. Find a way every Sunday to go somewhere.
And we all dug deep as we could to get the parish started.
And then we were happy that the bishop allowed us to have it.
We had nothing to start the parish with. The first thing we had to do was raise money to buy the ground that our parish sits on. And so they went around to every parishioner and asked them for a donation. And my husband came home and told me what he gave, and I couldn't believe it. And he said, "Don't worry, we have a Catholic banker."
And then when they finally started, building, well, Tony would go help, with his dad and his brothers. They would go whatever, needed to be done.
My husband is a carpenter.
I think we was here at the very beginning.
We were.
Yeah.
And then the ladies would get together and make a a lunch, you know, there for the workers and stuff. So he helped with the building, and I helped with whatever the ladies, you know, had to do. At the time, they had a lot of Mexican, well, some bachelors and some married guys living in the Santa Fe apartments, you know, and they would come and help too.
Well, you thought the people was all great.
Okay. And what was that again?
We liked them very good.
Okay.
All the people that wanted to come.
Okay.
Mexican people, the men, most of them were here from Mexico and the railroad workers. They're all railroad workers. When we went to building the church, most of them were here for, you know, they thought we knew everything about it. Most of the Mexican people, in fact, I think all of them were Catholic. And when they heard we was going to have a church here, they were all happy to help with their shovels, the digging.
We didn't know it. I didn't know any of the priests. You know, they sent Father Lees, and he was just a worker. He'd just get in there and work with the men, you know, and like you couldn't tell the difference between him and the other workers. I think the fact that we all worked together, if they couldn't come and help, they would offer money. I mean, you know, they try to give whatever they could to help get it started, and everybody helped, you know. And anybody in the parish that could would come in and do their share of whatever needed to be done.
And finished it in 1948. And we were all together and real happy.
Because we wanted a Catholic church.
Joe is the first Eucharistic minister.
We can go to Mass anytime, even during, you know, lots of churches don't have weekday Masses. I mean, you know, like we did, and so go to visit or we just had our church here, and it was just something that we could participate in whatever activities or whatever the church had.
We was pretty happy when they put the parish up in.
We were happy that we was going to get to go in our own hometown. Anyway, we're very happy with our church.
I love the parish.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
very nice.
We should all be thankful for our wonderful parish.
I think it's nice to know that everybody working together, you know, finally got our little church.
I'm so happy and thankful that we have all of these things now. The altar site is very active, the Knights of Columbus, and the teachers that are teaching our children, and very grateful for the Lord giving us this wonderful church and having such nice priests.
And we have had a lot of good priests. And Father, you're one of them.
Oh, well, thank you. We better turn this off now.
God bless you all.
Take what we got and run with it, huh?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.